We are on to 1996's Tiger Claws 2, part of the trilogy released by Vinegar Syndrome on their VSA range, and this was released 5 years after the original Tiger Claws. And we have a little bit of a change in the way the movie leans, going from the kind of horror, detective, serial killer angle into something a lot wackier than what I first expected. Tiger Claws 2 is absolutely bonkers. We get the return of Bolo Yeung's Tiger Claws master. Who is broken out of jail at the start of this, returned to a friend of his who's now taken the place of his master. There is a centenary coming up where they can access, the past, where they can travel back in the past and get their final grading of their Tiger Claws skill.
Where do you come up with this shit?
But it takes 2 masters to do that, so they're going to hold a tournament to see who is the best Tiger Claw fighters to ultimately open this gateway into the supernatural, it seems. We get the return of Linda and Tarek, played by Cynthia Rothrock, again, who's sidelined way more than she should. And Jalal Marie, who is Tarek. They've obviously had a relationship in between the movies. They've split up and they get kind of pushed back together in this one as they try to figure out what's going on, stop the bad guys, capture the serial killer Bolo Yeung and save the day.
You have a lot of cleaning up to do.
Later.
It's all about the supernatural element, is the stuff that kept me really interested in this one, because it was so bonkers and just batshit crazy that I couldn't help but appreciate the nonsense. And particularly a lot of the movie is fun, the start, and very much so at the end. In between the middle of the movie, it gets lost a lot. It doesn't really know where it wants to go, and it's trying to get all the pieces on the board from one place to where they can have their finale. So it's basically perfunctory getting people into place for the big final third of the movie, which is super enjoyable and is where I'm going to focus a lot of my attention, I think, because like I said, the reconnection of Tarek and Linda, don't really care. I want to see more Rothrock. I don't want to see her in love. I want to see her kicking ass. I kind of get the resurgence of the buddy cops that are interfering and just kind of wasting Tarek's time. We get a new version of them here as well. Bolo Yeung, they try to retrofit that character into being someone with morals, who has a moral compass of some sort, despite the fact that we saw him kill several innocent people in the first movie. They still try to give him a good arc of sorts, which doesn't really land properly with this one. Let's just get to the final third of the movie, which I found hugely enjoyable. It should be said, there are plenty of action set pieces throughout the movie that are fun. There's a couple of bad guy stooges in this that I really liked, particularly one with an eye patch, which was unnecessary, but I enjoyed anyway. The final third of the movie is all about the competition, the fighting competition between all these competitors, and there's this thing they have to do where they get sent into a maze to find themselves from one way to the other, where they can fight each other all the way through it as well. It doesn't seem to have any kind of rules or anything going on. Basically just get from A to B and you're into the next round. There's no limit on people or anything like that, but it creates a hell of a lot of fun action set pieces as well, kind of spooky and atmospheric scenes. It feels very much like a set. It doesn't feel like a real place. But again, that kind of added to the charm of it a lot. The final fights were really enjoyable, and you basically just get to a tournament setting where it's fight after fight after fight after fight. But I wanted that at that point, and it gave me what I wanted. Almost enough to forget about the misgivings that happened during the middle of the movie where it wasn't as interesting. You know, you kind of finish the movie on a high, and then you start to realise all the work you had to do to get to that final half hour, which was incredibly fun. And then the finale is absolutely bonkers, where we have Bolo, Yeung and Headmaster trying to get back to ancient times through a time portal of some sort.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
It doesn't make a lick of sense, and I just don't care, because I had an immense amount of fun watching this movie. Watching the fight scenes, watching the incredibly silly action set pieces. To see, I think it's Evan Laurie who played Vincent, an actor I'm sure I've seen in other things before, but I couldn't think of it, as kind of the scenery chewing bad guy, who was really quite fun as well. Fun characters. They aren't really three-dimensional, but they're fun to watch. The fight scenes were excellent, and I had a lot of fun again with Tiger Claws 2. I don't know how they're going to do the third one. I don't know how they're going to bring Bolo Yeung back into that, if it's even possible to do that. But I can't wait to find out how they're going to do it. I'd love to know your thoughts on this movie. Let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on Tiger Claws 2, and you know, I'm looking forward to part 3. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff if you are interested. If you think I deserve it, hit the like button. Just takes a second. And if you want to go the extra mile and support me, you can join Patreon or the membership program for as little as 99p a month, 25 pence a week. And it makes a huge amount of difference to me. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time on Man v Film.